So can you tell me what a family justice center is?
Yes, a family justice center is a safe place for all agencies to be in one large building and basically service the domestic violence victims in one place. We hesitate to call it one-stop shopping, but that's actually what it is. It's one safe place because you typically have to go into a lot of different areas when you're affected by domestic violence to get services. It's very disjointed. And the concept and the model of a family justice center is to bring all the agencies together under one location, make it easier for our domestic violence survivors to get help that they need.
Why did you decide to get involved with the domestic violence organization?
For me, it's a very personal passion. Unfortunately, at the age of 4, I lost my mother to domestic violence at the hands of her controlling and abusive boyfriend. So that left me without a mom and raised by my grandparents briefly. And I know the challenges that families face when this happens to your family. And I've always had the passion in the back of my mind to want to do something with it. And it presented itself to me 3 years ago when I went through Leadership Beaverton and met the current director of the Domestic Violence Resource Center. I met the then director of the Domestic Violence Resource Center and had the opportunity to join the board. And just within a year, I was the board chair. And when the Family Justice Center opportunity kind of landed in our laps, myself and Sarah Wade, the executive director of DVRC, it was a no-brainer. It's the thing I need to do. It's the thing that the community needs. I'm very passionate about it, and it's a really tremendous way for me to honor my mother and make sure that her life, she didn't lose her life in vain, and that we don't lose other young mothers. I don't want to lose another young mother and leaves a 2 to 3 year old child behind. There's a driving force way bigger than my past that for a need for a family justice center, and there are many people in this community who believe in this very much. And you'd be surprised how many people, as you talk about this, how many people are actually affected by domestic violence, whether either personally or a family member or a friend. And so it's in a lot of people's minds and hearts. But for me personally, yes, I'm very driven to make sure that this community that I love so much gets this family justice center that they need and that our domestic violence survivors desperately need.
How did your experience shape you growing up without your mother?
I'll tell you that it definitely impacts you. It's when you, and healthcare professionals will tell you, when you experience violence as a child, when you see it, experience it, especially in your household and with loved ones, it kind of reshapes the way you think about things. It's kind of a new normal for you. And fortunately for me, I had a loving grandmother who took me in and really helped support me, but you never are really the same when something like that happens to you, and it can affect you negatively, but it also can drive positive things can come out of it, and you can decide that you want to have an impact on society and help people. And that's kind of the way that I'm driven. It's like my heart tells me that yes, this thing's happened to me, and yes, there are some struggles sometimes that I have personally, but the ability to take that negative thing and turn it into something positive and helpful for the community I think is really where I need to be right now. It's kind of my calling.